everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. You're at Renisha Jasvita, and at this point in my life or in my YouTube channel, you all know that I am moving to Australia, and I'm really excited for that. In the previous video, I did let you guys know that the university that I'm moving to, but I did not give you all a very detailed description of how and why I chose this particular university. I do know a lot of people think just look up like top universities in Australia and blah blah blah. And, oh, this is like the number one ranked university, so this is what we're going to. I don't think it's that simple. There is way too many details. There's way too much chaos that you go through. There are too many courses, and there's a lot of things you need to keep in mind before you decide to select an university for yourself. And this doesn't just apply to Australia, it applies to selecting universities in general. But I am creating this for. Okay, so whatever I'm saying right now will be applicable irrespective of any country that you're going to. So make sure to give this a watch, and I hope this will be helpful to you all. And let's just get into it. Okay, so let's do a step by step process. Number one, the university that I ended up going to is RMIT, which is Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. But they also have numerous courses. They have the science field, they've got marketing, they've got business administration, and a lot of courses. I'm just letting you guys know about the university that I chose. Now I will let you guys know how exactly I went through it. And we are going to do this by going through a step by step process. So, step number one, choose your course before you choose your university. This is really important because something I've noticed in a lot of other students is they select some of the top universities in Australia and then they try to fit themselves into courses just for the ranking or for the name. And while that is extremely important, I will not say it's not important, it is, but it doesn't make sense for you to like fit yourself into a course when there are so many courses that will actually be applicable to you. So what I did is I sat down and I knew I was going to do marketing, not because I was in the sports marketing field or because I was in the influencer marketing field, but rather because I wanted something that was quite relevant, creative, and most importantly, future proof. Because with AI and everything taking over, obviously certain things only humans can do. And in marketing, AI obviously it helps and it's good to use it as a helping tool, but the human mind is so much more creative than AI. It was very important to me that I selected a career that was future proof for me, especially when I am investing so much to go study abroad. Once you know your course, your list automatically gets extremely smaller, and then it's easier for you to narrow down. And this brings me to the second step. The second step is to basically shortlist your university based on a place that you want to live. This is extremely important because, as someone who has been living alone for a couple of years at this point and who has lived away from her family during her bachelor days, trust me when I say your external environment matters as much as your university. If you don't like the place that you are in, you are automatically not going to like the course you are in or the subject that you're studying. And we only got one life. Why are you going to spend it doing something that you don't want to do? And the truth is that if you are unhappy outside class, you are not going to be happy inside class either. For me personally, ever since I was 16 years old, there was this amazing YouTuber that I followed. And at that point, I think I had like very less subscribers, okay? And I remember wanting to do this like smile project. And I texted a lot of YouTubers. None of them responded except this one person. And she lived in Melbourne, Australia. And I remember being so fascinated by her vlogs because she used to film and edit them so beautifully. And she was the only person who also responded to me. So it's safe to say I was like curious about who this individual was. And we ended up having conversations. That is what actually started building up my curiosity in Melbourne, Australia. And I wanted to live there since a really long time. After that, I was like, wow, this place is so beautiful. I would, even if I didn't live there, I would still want to visit that place, you know. And so when I got this opportunity and I knew I could go study abroad, there was absolutely no other place that came to my head other than Australia. For me, Melbourne ticked all the buses because of its huge student city, big marketing industry, cultural life, cafes, and the biggest bonus that my sister lives there. So even though I still know that it's still going to be a struggle living in a new country and just rebuilding your life all over. Knowing that I have my sister there is like, it just reduces so much of that stress. And since it ticked all the boxes, it just made sense to me that, yeah, this is where I'm going to choose the university. So I first chose the country, obviously, and then I chose the university. So this third step is one of the most important step in this entire video, and that is choosing the right course structure. Now you need to understand universities can have the same courses but yet have a different course structure, and it is really important that you take note of this because this happens throughout all universities in almost every countries, and sometimes it is the specific course structure that a particular university has that can help you narrow down what you actually want to do. For me personally, there were a couple of other universities in Australia with like Master of Marketing as their title, but when I went into the course structure, it was so like theoretical. And for me personally, I want a mix of both. Like, I love theory, but I love practical as well because let's be real, experience is important in order for you to get a job. And I can say this, I can vouch this as someone who has worked for 2 years, actually more than 2 years at this point, but you get my point. So the way I narrowed this down is I started breaking it down. Firstly, I was like, core units. What is something that I have to study irrespective of whether I like it or not? That is core units, right? You can't really choose. And then you have electives. Now here is where you get to choose. I had contacted someone from RMIT who has also done her Master of Marketing, and I asked her like which are like the good electives, which has a mix of both, and she actually helped me narrow it down. And I'm so grateful that she responded to my texts and that she helped me understand which I should choose and which I should not. The third thing that I looked out for is balance. I needed, again, like I told you all, I needed to know that there was both a mix of practical and theory. If it was only theory, I would have lost my damn mind. And the last one is about exposure. How exactly is this course going to help me in the real life world? Because at the end of the day, we're all studying to get jobs and to get ahead in life, and internships, placements, opportunities that a university provides can really help you elevate your resume. And that for me is something RMIT had. The reason I say this is so important is because this is what you're going to be doing for the next 2 years of your life, not 2 weeks, not 6 months, 2 whole years of your life you're going to be spending on this course. And if it just looks boring while you're reading through it, imagine sitting through class and having to attend it and having to finish deadlines. You're just going to torture yourself. Like, that is a form of self torture, to be honest. That is why I sat down, I took my own sweet time, to be honest. And once I was sure that this is what was going to help me in my career, in my life, and in the opportunities that it was going to provide, I narrowed it down to this course in this university. The next step, I'm going to keep this very brief because I've talked a little bit about it in the previous point as well. But obviously, industry connect and opportunities. This is really important because, like I told you all, as much as college is important and theory is important, if you don't network, if you don't create connections, if you don't put yourself out there, it is going to be incredibly hard for you to secure a job. And so I looked up RMIT alumni, I researched, and I did look them up on LinkedIn, and I saw where they were working, and I sent connections to a lot of them. A couple of them accepted, a couple of them didn't, a couple of them are still pending, and that's okay. But at least I put my first foot forward. I gave it a shot, right? That's the whole point. And a lot of y'all might not know this, but because I went through an agent, they had this one day very early on actually where it was where all the universities were on a Google Meet call, and you had time and you could like talk to a particular person from this university. And when it was my turn to speak with the person from RMIT, the one thing he explicitly said that they have really good connections and that they have really good alumni, and if we reach out to them, especially during placement, that they will be more than happy to help us not just get placements but also connect us with these alumni. And this is really important because, like I said, when I send requests on LinkedIn, not all of them accepted it. But if someone from the college reaches out to them and is like, oh, a particular individual wants to talk to you, they will be like, okay, sure, like let me talk to this person. And if things go well, you end up getting a referral, end up getting an opportunity. But even if that doesn't happen, you have sat down and had a conversation with a person who is already in that field, who has experience and was an RMIT alumni. So don't let it go. It might be a small thing for you, but the whole point of going into university is to make best use of the opportunities and the resources that you have. The fifth thing to keep in mind is scholarships and fees. Now, let's be realistic. We have talked a lot about the kind of course, the structure, the internship placements, but studying abroad in general is extremely expensive. So, you need to make sure that you don't put yourself in too much debt, because I know a lot of people take student loans, right? So, that is completely okay, but you need to keep in mind not over exceed it, okay? You need to be calculative about it. That's what I'm trying to say over here. Like, look for scholarships. My university already provided me with a 20% scholarship. They have this merit scholarship. And then if I want further scholarships, that is my job to look, to research, and to make sure that I get that scholarship. Because again, like I told you all, studying abroad is extremely expensive. So when you have resources that allow you to lessen that burden, make use of it. What I did is I sat down with my dad and mom actually, and I wrote down the tuition fees, the cost of living, the expenses that occur when you live in a city like Melbourne. Sorry, I had to sneeze. And also, most importantly, the part time job availability, because when you go to university abroad, unless like you're rich, you have to work part time to make sure that you have rent, that you have groceries and all of it. And I was like, okay, this is how we are gonna do things. We obviously had a family discussion involving my sister, who was on a video call, and we were like, okay, this is better and this works out much better for us compared to like certain other universities that were a bit higher in price. And also, a lot of people might not know this and a lot of people might know this, but RMIT has a lot of like grocery runs, which you can like avail for like an extremely low price. Do a bit more research on that, but I did hear it. So why not, bro? Like, that's amazing, right? When you're getting food and all. So the moral of the story is be careful because money is money at the end of the day. I wasn't just choosing something that was like super super expensive. I was choosing a university that was making long term sense, and I feel RMIT had that for me. The sixth step, and this is an amazing step to keep in mind, and I was so happy when I realized that RMIT has this, and that is student support and communities. Now, communities, it's not just within RMIT, but it's also within Melbourne, Australia. As someone who has lived in Dubai since she was 3 years old, I know how important support and communities are, because they come to you when you need help when no one else will. So when I was looking into RMIT and I saw that they have amazing clubs and societies such as the dancing club, the singing club, I think there's a K-pop club and an acting club as well. And if that acting club exists, then I know I'm going to go into that because I want to act so bad. Okay. So I looked into it. I looked into how active they are on social media, because obviously a lot of y'all know that I do content creation. And because I do it, I would love to do something in relation to content creation that allows me to gain more opportunities as well. Because you need to keep in mind that studying abroad isn't just about only studying. It's about loneliness, it's about making friends, joining clubs, joining societies, and again, like I have said 1,000 times before, making the best use of the resources that you have. And when within an university you have such amazing clubs, that was just like, it was like you finally got the stamp, like RMIT got the stamp that I'm joining you, that I'm joining this university for a reason, because it has so much that it's giving, and it's only fair that I make use of it. The last step to how and why I chose RMIT. Now, you need to remember, you can keep everything in mind, right? Like the rankings, the university, the country, the cost, everything. But at the end of the day, it comes down to your gut feeling. Irrespective of how many universities I was looking at, how many, at one point, I actually started looking into another country. But I kept coming back to RMIT. Like, I would research, I would go to this university and be like, oh, how is RMIT doing this? And that's when you know. Because at some point in life, whenever you make a decision, it stops being logical and it starts being intuitive. And that's the whole point. If your gut feeling says this is the university, like this feels right for me, then go for it. Why wait any further? And yes, I did kind of have a mental checklist. Does this course excite me? Yes. Does the city fit my personality? Also, yes. Are there strong career prospects? Definitely, yes. Does the course structure make sense in long term? Yes. Is it financially realistic? Yes, because my parents and my sister are helping me out. Does the university have industry connections? Yes. Do I feel safe, comfortable, and supported in this city? I have my sister there. Obviously, yes. Finally, the last question. Is my gut feeling saying yes? And obviously, it was. And that's just how I knew. So that's how I chose my university. Not completely based on rankings or on what others were saying, but on what I wanted. If you're watching this because you want to choose the right university for you, please understand that you don't need the best university, but rather you need the right university for you. So that was a very simple and hopefully to the point video. I have recorded this just so that it could be helpful for all of you watching this video, because I do know that this process can be long, chaotic, stressful, and tedious. And I hope this video somehow made it a little bit better. If there is any other particular video or comments that you guys want me to address, please comment it down below and I would be more than happy to address that. But most importantly, before you all leave this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because that helps my video reach to a lot more students and I will be hopefully be able to create more content that way as well. Bye bye. Creased our names in the dust on the window, shared secrets.